Welcome to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Brian will be along shortly. I'm Mr. Producer, and I want to make sure that you are setting aside some of your profits from the season for continuing education, for investing back into yourself and your team. One way to do this is through the training courses, videos, and modules offered at LawEntrepreneurAcademy.com. When you visit the site, and I'll make sure that there's a link in the podcast description, what I would like for you to do is to click on the store link and take a look around. Make a note of what interests you or what you think the guys on your crew would benefit from. Then, come back on Black Friday and Cyber Monday for our best deals of the year.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and welcome to the jungle. Good morning. Hey, today's podcast, I wanted to talk about your Google My Business links, if your phones are working, updating your voicemail, Google My Business listing if it's active, and reviews and how that can separate you from the pack. So here's what I want to talk about today. It's the end of the season, pretty much real time. We are finishing up our last weeks of Mo's in the month of October. From there, we're going to shift gears. We got a couple days where we kind of just lay low. We retool a bunch of equipment. We build our leaf box. We add our debris loader. We get the equipment ready for leaf season. We are doing our site inspections. We are uploading those to our Dropbox folder that we have for our company. We do snow staking this next day or two, and then basically it's full force getting ready for leaves the first real week of November. It's kind of an off week as we do this. So November, whatever it is, 6th forward, it's all leaves all the time for our crews. By the way, quick little timely update, Launchpreneur Academy Live. We got about 2 weeks left. We are so excited about ticket sales. We are so excited about having you guys in. We're excited about just being excited. I'm just a big event junkie. I'm a big FOMO type of person. I don't want to miss out on anything. And I'll just tell you guys, November 6th is the last day to get your Launchpreneur Academy Live tickets, okay? We've got 335, I think, registered tickets, about 3 or 4 registering per day right now. I'm imagining another 10, 20 of you guys will hopefully buy your ticket last minute. We'll get those numbers up 350-ish, and that will be 100% the biggest LAL that we've ever had. You had speakers and sponsors and staff and family. There'll be 420 people in that room, and it's going to be thick. It's going to be just such a great time. And by the way, the Launchpreneur Academy Live Facebook group has been blown up. A lot of people making friends. A lot of people are getting their teams together for the Friday night at the Hub Stadium, which is brought to you by Kohler and LMN. It's an indoor sports arena. If you guys can find some teams of 4, that would just expedite the process. But we got foaling, axe throwing, and then legit ice curling, like in the Olympics where they like use the brooms on the ice and have those huge stones that go down to the other end. Nobody get hurt or sprain an ankle. Don't do anything like that. But any which way, that's going to be a really good time. So quick little plug there for Launchpreneur Academy Live. So man, we're in the thick of it right now, folks. This episode's not going to be super lengthy. We're actually in the process of moving out of our apartment and into our camper. Yes, you heard that right. If you're a new listener to the show, I'm going to take business advice from this guy. Hey, what caveat emptor, is that what Caleb Allman always says with the Kid Contractor podcast? Listen, we're in the process of building our new construction home, or custom home, I should say. It's new construction. We're a little bit about halfway. It's a 13-month build. The barn is done, but it's not done, if you know what I'm saying. The shell is done, but to dredge the utilities and to trench those, we're pulling permits, obviously, for in the building structure. So this stuff is going to take another month to 6 weeks, no doubt about it. And of course, we're hoping those lines would cross, late summer into fall. And here we are, late fall going into winter. And so the idea is to back the camper into the barn. We are not ready, but the apartment is basically due. They're not kicking us out, but it's time to go. We went month to month on our apartment for about 3 months, and that's all we could really get for extensions after canceling our lease. And they said, hey, we actually did literally release out your unit. You go now. You go now. So any which way, that's been the last couple of days. We're moving into the camper. We're about to live there full time, live on the property. That'll be kind of like a halfway dream come true. We just want to be there. We want to be at home. Want to be on our land. We want to enjoy the property. I don't care if it's muddy. I don't care if it's wet. I don't care if it's field grass. I don't care. I just want to be at our property. Okay. Like we have been trying to get over there all summer, ran into some delays with the barn, with zoning and permitting. And, it's just, what did they say? Like, make your plans, tell them to God, and then watch, he'll laugh at them or something like that. I don't really know the full context of that one, but it's one of those things where if you're trying to make things happen, maybe give yourself a little bit more time, maybe give yourself a little bit more budget. We're kind of burning both at this time. And it's a little stressful, to be honest. It's not as easy as anybody might make it out to be. I don't want to portray that it is. Liz and I are, just burning cash right now behind the scenes. But at the same point, not being in here for the apartment over the next 6-7 months will save us a bunch of cash as well as we start floating that new construction interest-only loan until the mortgage kicks in. But that still gives us another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 of capital to work with, even with moving out, even with having to buy a couple knickknacks or another storage unit in the meantime for some of our stuff. Does that make sense? So it's all a transition. It's all a process. But here's what I don't want to have happen. In either my business or in your guys' business during the fall time, and we're going to get into it, is capitalizing on the end of the season. I wanted to talk about some things we can do, and some of this is real life, like stuff that I'm going through trying to hire some folks, and then other portions of it is just a mental reminder, if you will, for some of you guys out there, whether you're brand new or you've been doing this for 5 years, what we can do to capitalize on the end of the season. Okay. So we're going to talk a lot about Google reviews, talk about updating our website, of course, retooling all of our equipment. It'll be a short and sweet episode. I promise you that, because I do got to get back to moving. Low key, like I said, that's what we're in the thick of it right now. So if you actually knew what was going on in our apartment right now, it looks like a bomb went off. But let's do this really quick. Let's hear from today's show sponsors. We're going to hear from today's announcements, and then we're going to come back and talk about some of these extra bonus tips to help you guys capitalize on the fall transition season. Hang tight.
Installing traditional snow stakes is time-consuming, expensive, and downright dangerous. Traditional fiberglass stakes cost as much as double, take twice as long to install, not to mention fiberglass splinters. That's where Plow-Rite marking stakes come in. Our patented installation tool and carrying pack make snow stake installation a breeze, installing up to 450 stakes an hour. Want the fastest and best snow stake system on the market? Look no further than Plow-Rite marking stakes. Our stakes are made of hollow polypropylene, which will not crack, break, or splinter like traditional fiberglass stakes. 3 size options, 26, 36, and 46 inches, and 5 standard colors: orange, green, blue, red, and hot pink. Want more visibility than our standard stakes? Look no further than our reflective stakes, which sport a 2-inch 3M reflective band that is the highest grade reflective material ever put on a snow stake. Truly let your stakes be seen. Visit plow-rite.com and order yours today. And make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% at checkout. The link is in the podcast description. And best of all, everything is 100% made in the USA. This is your invitation to Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023 in Novi, Michigan, Saturday, November 11th. The lineup is power-packed. You won't want to miss it. Learn from incredible speakers like Leroy Maines, Keith Kalfas, Caleb and Brittany Allman, Sam Gimble, Weston Zimmerman, and Jeff Joyner, just to name a few. Tickets are on sale now, and hurry because seating is limited to just 300.
Hey, what's up? It's Keith Kalfas. Get your tickets now for the 2023 Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
Once you purchase your ticket, you'll be added to our private Facebook group where you can network with other attendees, get access to the discounted hotel room block, and get the inside scoop for the Friday night party, brought to you by Kohler. Thank you to this year's sponsors, Exmart, Sure Track Trailers, Yard Book, and Boss Snowplow for helping to bring this incredible event to life. We can't wait to see you November 11th, Novi, Michigan, at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live 2023. Get your ticket today at lawntrepreneur.academy.com or use the link in the podcast description. Lawntrepreneur Academy Live.
All right, guys, well, let's jump back into it here. We're going to be talking about tips on how to capitalize on fall, how to make the most out of that momentum that a lot of us scooped up at Equip Expo. And then also we're going to be pouring gas in the fire here at Lawntrepreneur Academy Live. By the way, big shout out and thank you to all of you guys that used promo code Brian at Equip Expo. We don't have our like unique link just yet, if you will, but you can already register apparently for Equip Expo 2024. So if you guys want to register just on the main website and use a promo code Brian, that'll save you some money there if you already know you're going next year. Handle that little detail now and don't have to worry about all the calls to action next summer, right? So here's what I want to do. Let's jump into it. A couple of things that I had top of mind. Number one, I wanted to rant for about 3 minutes here, hopefully not 30, was talking about hiring vendors or hiring companies myself. Liz and I have been, we've been hiring out, outsourcing. Dude, we need help, right? So we hired a moving packing person. Well, not moving people, but they're packing. They're called Tidy Solutions. They're in Northville, Michigan. Shout out to them, free plug. Great team, great gals. A couple grand to basically have 3 girls come in like Tasmanian devil, spin through this whole place and help us pack up our whole, apartment. A lot of stuff. We have 1,400 square foot apartment, probably 2,000 square foot with a crap in here, if you know what I'm saying. And they helped us pack up this whole house and apartment in 3 days. So one thing that really drove me there, and we're going to get into how this kind of relates, is the reviews. They had hundreds and hundreds of 5-star reviews. These girls were just highly recommended. Great Instagram, great posts, great website. If you guys are ever moving or need to move, I will assure you, hire people that can pack, which I thought it was one and the same, but packers and movers, right? If you can do both, even better. I have a couple of my guys, Rob, Mark, Ryan, they're helping me move some of the big stuff. My younger brother's been here helping us move some of the big stuff, like my workout stuff, our bed, some dressers, that kind of nonsense. But packing, I was like, dude, I'm not a guy for packing. To me, it all goes into a black trash can or a trash bag. And at best, it makes it to the house. That's if it doesn't make it curbside, if you know what I'm saying. But those ratings and reviews have helped so much to help us be able to pack this whole place up in just 3 days, if that makes sense. So number one, I wanted to talk about the Google reviews on your website and how incredibly important that is, because that is how we're determining who we're hiring out there. And think about it like this. If you're a consumer, you guys are scouring the internet, probably hiring products or services for your business. But then we turn around and we realize, or maybe you don't realize, but we turn around and we say, why don't more people hire us? Or we're looking for more customers, or I want to get more business or get more commercial accounts. Have you ever went to your Google page and to see your actual reviews? I talked about this pretty heavily in the spring, and maybe even last winter, and I did a little challenge out there. I said, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse on this one. If you want to get on board, great. If not, it's not my business. I don't care. But I said, if you're at 6, 7, 8 Google reviews, I challenge you to get to 25 to 50. And if you're already kind of established, you got 27 reviews, 29, 31. I said, I challenge you to get that to 100. Okay. And you will be surprised how much better you rank, how quickly you rank, and just how much social proofing is out there that provides you with business. I mean, just folks, practically speaking, people are like, what's the number one thing you can do in my business? I'm like, reinvest as much as you can for as long as you can. Number 2, build your web presence, build your Google My Business listing, build your actual authentic 5-star, hopefully, reviews. And so working off the folks that we've hired for us packing, working off trying to hire a fertilizer company for our personal property. Now that we're going to be living there, I want to look nice until I can kind of take that in-house. I just cannot focus on that at the moment. Looking at Google reviews, you'd be surprised how difficult it actually is to find, and this isn't just specific to the fertilizer guys, this is all contractors out there, how hard it is from a pool guy to a fert guy to a mow guy to a contractor in any way, shape, or form, find somebody with more than 3 freaking reviews. And it's always Stevenson Construction, the first review is always, it's like Jamie Stevenson, 5-star, love this company. Okay. Now that your wife has left that awesome first 5-star review, which we've all done that. Number 2, it's these guys suck, 1 star. And then the third review is a 5. These guys are great. They helped me renovate my basement. Okay, so I have no information whether or not your company's actually good, right? Because the wife did the good wifey responsibility to make you feel like a winner. She left the first review, forgot to log into somebody else's account or do something else, God forbid. Pad stats. I get it, bro. We've all been there. Number 2, somebody tanked you because you didn't call them back. It happens. We've all been there. People leave me 1-star reviews just because I say something political or my YouTube channel, and it's like, dude, pound sand. Those get cleaned up by Google. So if you want to waste your time, go for it. But I have a finally a contact at Google. We clean those up pretty quick. Number two, it's, finding somebody that can actually leave you some 5-star reviews. So a lot of words just to say, if you haven't asked your customers for reviews, please do so now. And think about the opportunity that you have right now during this next couple of weeks that either A, you don't have during the rest of the year, or B, you always say, I don't have time for this during the rest of the year, right? In the summer, I'm like, hey, collect reviews in July and August. You're like, oh, dude, it's the middle of the season. It's kind of weird to ask a customer for a review when we're doing mowing. We mow for 7 months. We're kind of halfway. It's kind of weird. Okay, fair enough. I'll play your games. It's the end of the season. We're all finishing up our weekly mows next week or two. And you have the opportunity to go through your 5, 10, 20, 500 customers and say that you've done work for the whole year. Of course, your weekly mows, but imagine you have your weekly mow accounts. You have your leaf cleanup, one-time leaf cleanups. You have your irrigation blowout customers. You have your fall cleanups. Your fall aerations. You have your overseeding customers. You have your overseeding only customers. Some of you guys are doing holiday Christmas lights. Some of you guys are doing burlap, where you wrap the shrubs and all that mess. Some of you guys did some landscaping, of course, some last minute plantings. You've done some fall prunings. There isn't a single person listening to the show that has, any type of business of any size that I guarantee couldn't not at least drum up another 5, 10, 20 Google reviews. For real. And you're like, hey, why do you listen to the podcast? I know you guys are in love with Fullerton and you guys appreciate the show and come to LEL, but like, dude, at the end of the day, and I believe this about the folks listening to our podcast, you guys want to win. You guys want to grow. You guys want to succeed. And there's nothing more that I can tell you to do or encourage you to do or suggest that you do than to cultivate those Google reviews right now. Again, Liz and I spent tens of thousands of dollars in the last couple of months on moving, contractors, all this stuff, dude. From buying our camper brand, what did we look for? Went on YouTube and Facebook groups and joined a bunch of groups, and we got reviews on the camper we bought. We bought, I think it's called Brooklyn Bedding. It's a new mattress for the interior of our camper, because the one they send you is like, basically you literally sleep on plywood with like a 3-inch pad. It's brutal. And I'm a side sleeper. Liz is a side sleeper. And dude, your hips just like wedge into the wood. And by morning, it feels like your legs are rebar. Not good. So we bought a whole mattress thing, Brooklyn Bedding, I think it's called. Shout out to those guys, whoever they are. But it had tons and tons of reviews, like 25,000 4.5 and 5-star reviews. Sounds good to me, right? So again, if you're like, well, I never get the lead, or I never get the call, or I never get the XYZ, maybe because like outward appearance is that you don't even look like a legitimate business. Even though you're an artisan landscaper, or really good at mowing, or really good at XYZ, like the reviews speak volumes, right? I mean, how many times do you guys go out to dinner and look at your Yelp reviews before you book a reservation on OpenTable? Do you guys know what I'm saying? So here's the long story short. Just a quick mental reminder, the next week or so, or today even, if you get a rain day or you get a week off, or you're like, well, I'm not really doing cleanups just yet, another week until the weather breaks or the ground's been really wet, I don't want to go out there and tear a bunch of stuff up. I can go out and hang out and go watch a movie. Listen, this is the time where you can send out 30 text messages. Just say, hey, Miss Johnson, hope all is well. Thanks so much for a great season. Appreciate you. By the way, we're looking to grow our ratings and reviews online. If you'd be ever so kind to leave us a review, parentheses, hopefully 5 stars, haha, or smiley face, we'd be ever so grateful. If so, let me know and I can send you that direct link. They say, sure, honey, you guys have been great. Sign us up for next year. Have a safe holiday season. You say, awesome, you too. Here's our direct link. I'll look for your review over the next couple days. Thanks so much. High five emoji. That's it, bro. I have mine copy and pasted on a notepad on my phone. I got the little notes app, I got 1,500 notes. One of my notes is my BLM review link note, Brian's All Maintenance review link note. Okay. So I copy and paste that. And that is something that I'm going to be working on myself. We had, and I'll tell you real case study. I listened to one of you guys listening in. I forget the dude's name at this time. 550 episodes later, forgive me. But one of the guys, we did a whole podcast review and he just hammered reviews. And I'm like, dude, that's something I got to work on. And he's like, yeah, I challenge you to get to 100 reviews. Let's do it. And he dropped bombs. It probably was an episode nothing more than a year ago. And I literally do the same stuff that you guys are doing. And I said, dude, my Google reviews need some work. I think I had like 28 or 40 or something at the time. It wasn't awful. Bunch of 5 stars, probably 90% of them were 5 stars, a couple, 4 stars, and then 3 or 4 knucklehead 1-star haters, from social media world. Okay, fair enough. So I said, well, that's not bad. I mean, that's a decent presence. I said I had 20 or 30, 40, whatever it was. But I said, this is like rookie. This is like the rookie leagues. Like those are rookie numbers. We got to pump those up. So I said, I'll take that challenge. And we worked, I don't even know if it was 30 days later, folks, we had 105 star reviews. And I'm not even kidding. And it's not because we're awesome. It's nothing like that. Obviously we're awesome already. You guys know how it goes. You're awesome. We're awesome. We're all awesome. Yay. But it didn't take that long for me to literally just go, I just gave you the script a minute ago, hit, rewind 4 times on the 32nd and get those Google reviews, get them in, lock them in. Once you have them for life, right? So if you have 0 to, 10, I challenge you to get to 25 to 50. If you got like this awkward 31, I challenge you to take that to 100. Because if you have 31 stars, guaranteed you've done hundreds of customers worth of work. Again, one-off cuts, spring cleanups, fall cleanups, mulch installations, residential installations. Text your commercial clients, all those office manager ladies, they love leaving the reviews. They 100% will. In fact, if you want, even ask them for an endorsement or a review and say, hey, do you mind if I make this public, including your company's name? Yes, I have one that the lady left me a letterhead. On a company letterhead. She said, here's the actual scanned art file. If you ever need this, have this in your portfolio. I was like, that's super professional. Nobody's ever offered to do that for me. Yeah, hell yeah, we'll put that in the tool belt. Like, this is the time to take your views to the next level, right? Some of you guys were like, oh, it's a spring rush. I'm always so busy. I don't have time. Oh, it's the summertime. It's kind of weird asking my long-term weekly lawn maintenance customers for a review. I'll do it at the end of the season. Oh, it's fall. We're getting ready for, leaves and snow. We don't have time. Like, bro, if you're never going to make time, just be honest. Just say it's not a priority, right? But here's what I would say. Like, if you want to grow, I would encourage you to spend some time on the reviews. All right, let's keep going really quick. A couple other short ones really that these are just side rants. That's the meat and potatoes of what I want to talk about. Number 1, update your voicemail. Just a timely reminder. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm just giving a suggestion. If you wanted to win big time in the fall, winter, now's a good time to update that voicemail. A lot of them probably say, hey, now taking landscape jobs, lawn maintenance customers, XYZ, leave your name and number. Obviously, right now, it's like, hey, we're now scheduling fall cleanups. And also, if you want to get on the list for snow for 23-24, including seasonal prepay residential or per push or seasonal prepay commercial, please, whatever your friggin' email is or your voicemail is, just say, hey, if you want more info, go to the website or email us at. That's fine too. Just a quick note, 99% of us probably need to update our voicemails for the fall and winter season. Number 3 or 4, wherever we're at on this rant list, is check out your Google My Business page and make sure that it's actually active. I was ranting on Instagram stories the other day, and we did a Postcard Mania mailer. By the way, a lot of you guys were asking the updates on that. 4 new commercial accounts. Seriously, 4 new commercial accounts, 3 small ones and a medium-sized one that I should have the contract back signed today. Literally, I'm so excited about that. $9,000, $3,000, $3,000, and the other one's like 15, 16 grand. So I'm really hoping that the big one signs up, obviously. But that's about 5 or so leads, and then 3 or 4 actual signed up accounts. Okay, we did a 1,500 postcard mailer for commercial snow site management. That went out the first week of September, and then it went out again the first or so week of October, or maybe like mid-September, and then again like maybe first week or so of October. But the interesting thing was, and somebody brought this to my attention, and then my brother brought it to my attention, was that my Google My Business listing was suspended. Basically, it's not aware, it's not active, it's not out there, it's not public. So imagine this, I just marketed, I just spent, a couple grand on marketing, whatever it is. And none of these people have the ability to cross-reference whether or not we actually have our Google reviews there. It's one of those things where like, hey, this is awesome. We're going to put all this marketing out, but then people go to Google and we don't exist. Not even like my business page, like nothing. Now my website ranked for page number 2 or page number 3, whatever it was, because of Brandon Bull and SEO and all that mess. So like my actual brianslm.com website ranked, but my Google My Business listing wasn't even there. And you can see the reviews and analytics page. It showed 0 goose egg for September, goose egg already for October. And I'm like, are you kidding me? I just spent $3,000 or $2,000 or I don't even remember, a couple grand, on marketing, and my stuff isn't even present. It's not even active. Like, dude, I was so furious. I emailed Google and called them like you wouldn't believe. I was like, this needs to get fixed immediately. So quick rant, double check your Google My Business listing. I know it's weird. I know it's goofy. For those of you guys that are trying to grow, I know it sounds weird, but like your website maybe, or your Google My Business page, maybe got triggered or something tripped it and it's suspended or inactive or not visible, or maybe it's toggled off. I don't know. Maybe it needs to be updated. Maybe you need to add some cool new photos that you've been snapping all season for Instagram. Go back through your phone carousel and update some of the photos to make it look good, right? You share all this to Instagram and Facebook. It's semi-good. It's semi-pointless, to be honest, at the end of the day, because most of your traffic is going to come from Google anyway. And then, of course, your website, right? So just a quick rant. Update your Google My Business listing. Make sure it's active. Make sure it's not suspended. Make sure the photos are updated. Make sure your phone number is correct. Maybe your website. Make sure your website's correct. Make sure your website's working. I was trying to visit a company just the other day on mobile, and it literally wouldn't work. And I was spending $1,500 on this thing, and I couldn't even get their website to work on mobile. I go to desktop, it works. I DM'd them on Instagram and said, hey, your mobile applications or whatever is not working. Like something's glitched. And maybe it's me, it's not. They DM'd me back like 10 minutes later. They said, actually, our mobile isn't working very well. We're super sorry about this. The load time was brutal, like dial up, it wasn't loading. And I couldn't put an order in for 5 of these little items that I wanted. It was like $1,500. And, well, I'll just tell you, I bought 5 solo stoves, 5 solo fire pits. I saw one at, so I think Josh or Jeremy Sutton had one at the parking lot meetup at the Bro Life Breakfast at Equip Expo. So I bought 3 for my builders, Mike, Andy, and Shelby. Mike's the builder, Andy's our superintendent / partner, and then Shelby's his assistant. Bought them 3. I bought one for Liz and I, and then I bought one to give away at LEL. So if you're coming to Entrepreneur Academy, you can win a solo stove. But I was spending $1,500 and I couldn't even use the website. And no shade to Solo Stove, good people, I'm sure. But like, hey, yeah, something's wrong with our mobile. So anyway, how is your mobile application doing? How does your website look? Do you have 404 links not found? Did you forget to renew your GoDaddy subscription and like it doesn't even link somewhere? These are just like soft checks. I'm just trying to remind you guys. You're always like, hey, me too. I don't have time. I don't have time. Dude, I know the workload goes down 75% this time of year, 30, 40, 50, 75% this time of year. You're not getting out there till 9s and 10s a.m. because it's dark and it's wet. You're getting done at 4s and 5s because it's dark and it's wet. You're losing days because it's raining and it's wet. You don't want to tear up properties. Us too. The thing is, like, mentally, we all shut down at 6 p.m. because it's dark in the Midwest. Bro, keep putting in those hours like you were in the summer, working until 9 p.m. Take 2-3 hours, update all the social, update all your websites, update your reviews. You can send emails if you don't want to text people. Hey, you get in from a long day of cleanups. You went to the leaf dump at 7 p.m., 6 p.m., and you're getting in at 8 o'clock. Then just shoot emails. If you don't want to text people because you're still out there working 10, 12-hour days, dude, that's awesome. But if you want to shoot a bunch of emails, that's just as professional, right? Don't send a blanket newsletter. Send individualized emails. Well, that takes time. Well, dude, come on. Like, you can't just shotgun everything. Okay. So that's one of the quick thing I wanted to do is tell you guys, make sure your websites are up to date, make sure your listings are working, make sure all your links are active. And last one, make sure your phones are working. This is it sounds weird, but like, make sure that if you have a landline or a company phone outside of the voicemail, have like somebody randomly call your company on a different phone. And just make sure your phones are working. And if it's like for option 1 for new signups, press 1. For existing customers, press 2. And there's a company I was trying to sign up with service as Liz and I are moving, and I was hitting 1, and it would just go boop, 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 and it would hang up on me. And I'm like, okay, that's weird. I called back, boop, 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 hung up on me. Did it 2-3 times. I'm like, all right, fine, whatever. Didn't even think about it. That company could have lost the business, but I'm not with follow-up. So it wasn't about 3 or 4 days later. Same thing. I call, hit 1, boop, 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 just hangs up on me. And I'm like, dude, WTF, bro. So I hit option number 2. Lady picks up. Hello. Are you a current customer of ours? What can we do? What's your account number? I go, actually, I'm looking to sign up for service. We're new. I said, but I can't sign up because option 1's not working. She goes, oh, wow. And this isn't like, some $1 billion company. It's a small, medium company. And she goes, oh, well, we didn't know that. I said, well, now you know. And I said, just so you know, it's been out for at least a week since I've been trying to call. She goes, oh, that's definitely not good. She goes, I am not sure. I'll get our team to look at that. Dude, like, this is a good medium-sized company in our area. Hundreds of Google reviews, probably doing 50 million. That kind of stuff falls through the cracks for everybody. No shade, no hate, no nothing. Just it's like, hey, maybe one of you guys out there have $1 million company and you have a phone service. I know there's some of you guys listening in have some bigger companies. Dude, just randomly call your front office, randomly call your front desk, randomly click through your options and your prompts with those phone services and making sure that everything's working. You're like, man, it seems a little light this year. We haven't got any more commercial accounts or any new signups. Like, what the hell's going on? Dude, it might be as simple as like your phone's not working or your website listing isn't being active on Google. And I know it sounds weird, but these are little friendly reminders. Even if you don't do all 5 or 6 here and you do one, hey, like my job is done. That's what I got. All right. So any which way, take advantage of this transition period, capitalize on this transition as we go from mowing to cleanups to snow. For us, we're busier than ever with shifting equipment and remechanizing everything and just moving and life. But, as soon as we're moved out of this apartment, and the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of November, I'm hitting up all of my 100, 80 plus residentials that we do weekly mows. 40 or 50 of them have already left reviews, but the other ones, they're all going to get an email. All of our commercials that are new are getting an email. Anybody we've done a one-off service for, which hasn't been that much this year, admittedly, because I haven't been in the field that much doing those extra services. But anybody that can backtrack or log a review from, I'm going to try to pad stats and go from 111 5 stars to 200. You know what I mean? By this same time next year, spring. And imagine this. That's the last thing I'll say is, and I said this on the other review video or the review podcast we did probably about a year ago, was imagine if some of you guys have been in business like myself for a decade, 15 years, 17 years, some of you 20, 25 years. Imagine how many customers you've done business with. You go on like purplemattresses.com or that company I was just talking about, rvmattresses.com. And we go and look at Brooklyn Bedding, and it's got 25,434 reviews. Dude, that means that they've sold at least 500,000 mattresses to get a 2% review rate. Like, that's crazy. And then as soon as I bought it, it's like, hey, would you like to review it? And then a week later, I got a thing. Would you like to send us a review? Like, great follow-up process, okay? At the end of the day, how many customers have we done one-time cuts, one-time edgings, one-time prunings, one-time mulch, one-time snowplow? Like, thousands, literally thousands, maybe tens of thousands. So if that's you, quick tip, if I can go back and do it all over again, I would have collected a review, and I wouldn't have badgered people or bugged people, but you can bet from day one, I would be hitting that every single customer I've done work for, whether it's a one-off for a couple of weeks or a seasonal mow or seasonal snow. And I would have said, hey, can we get that review? And my gosh, I would have 5,000. I don't know when you really stop. I mean, after 200-300, it's probably like, is besides the point. But until you got that first 100 under your belt, you got work to do. And there's a lot of stuff that we got to do in the fall, winter. And again, by the way, in December, January, maybe things slow down big time. Maybe you're down south and you're down to biweekly mows and you're just kind of chilling till February, March. Maybe you're in the mid of the country and it's a transition. You don't really get snow, but leaves are done at the end of December, January. And you're sitting around for a month or so getting ready for spring. It's not too late to go back, 6 weeks ago and talk to those old customers and say, hey, can I get those reviews? All right. So I don't know when you listen to this podcast, if you do this in the next week or two, that'd be smart. But if you do it in the next 30 or 60, 90 days, it'd still be just as good on you. All right. I think it'd really help you out, really help your business grow, and really help you to take things to the next level. All right. That's what I'm doing, at least. I'll tell you, that's what I'm doing. As soon as this podcast is done, as soon as we're done moving, I'm hitting up every single customer, and I'm going to go collect another 30, 50, 100 reviews, pad stats, and ensure that not only can we take care of our customers again next year, number 2, get some feedback on how we did this year, because we're always looking to grow. We're not perfect. But number 3, anybody who wants to potentially sign up with us next year and they see 200, 300, 400 5-star reviews, they know they can make the right choice to go with Brian's Lawn Maintenance. Right, amen? All right, that's what I got for you guys on today's podcast. Appreciate y'all listening in. Get your ticket to Lawnpreneur Academy Live. Do not miss it. If you're within the Midwest or within a 6-8 hour drive, folks, it's local. We'd love to have you. Stop making the excuses. I'll go one day, 1 year. This is your year. This is the year to come. It's our 5th year. It's like a huge anniversary kind of a deal. 5 years in. How cool is that? Some of the best of the best. Don't miss the Friday night, the Hub Stadium, 5 to 8 p.m. It's free for anybody who's got a ticket. Saturday, $249 for a ticket. You can't miss it. Don't make excuses. You got to come get around the heat. And this is where people that are growing are going, okay? Guys, I love you. Hope you guys have a good rest of the week, and we'll look forward to catching up with you guys here on the next episode.
Installing traditional snow stakes is time-consuming, expensive, and downright dangerous. Traditional fiberglass stakes cost as much as double, take twice as long to install, not to mention fiberglass splinters. That's where Plow-Rite marking stakes come in. Our patented installation tool and carrying pack makes snow stake installation a breeze, installing up to 450 stakes an hour. Want the fastest and best snow stake system on the market? Look no further than Plow-Rite marking stakes. Our stakes are made of hollow polypropylene, which will not crack, break, or splinter like traditional fiberglass stakes. 3 size options, 26, 36, and 46 inches, and 5 standard colors, orange, green, blue, red, and hot pink. Want more visibility than our standard stakes? Look no further than our reflective stakes, which sport a 2-inch 3M reflective band that is the highest grade reflective material ever put on a snow stake. Truly let your stakes be seen. Visit plow-rite.com and order yours today. And make sure to use Brian's 10 to save 10% at checkout. The link is in the podcast description. And best of all, everything is 100% made in the USA.
Hey, what's up? It's Keith Kelfis. Get your tickets now for the 2023 Launchpreneur Academy Live this November 11th in Novi, Michigan. If you want to upgrade your lawn care business, this is the place to be. It's going to sell out wall to wall. So get your tickets now at launchpreneuracademy.com. I'm going to be there speaking. It's going to be an amazing event. And if you've never heard of Launchpreneur Academy, what, have you been living under a rock?
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.